I'm going to read chapters 5 and 6 of Marvin Redpost. Is he a girl? Chapter 5. The ugliest face in the world. Judy and Melanie were hanging upside down from the monkey bars. "Hi, Marvin," said Judy. "Do you want to come to my slumber party?" "Okay," said Marvin. "Oh, goody," said Melanie. "We can stay up late and paint each other's toenails." Marvin woke up. "No," he said, almost shouting. He wanted to call Judy Jasper on the telephone and tell her he didn't want to go to her slumber party and he did not want to paint his toenails. It was just a dream, he reminded himself. A dream. Woo! He wasn't supposed to go to sleep. He jumped out of bed. He checked himself all over. He was still a boy. He looked at the clock. 3:45. He had been asleep less than 5 minutes. That wasn't enough time to turn into a girl. He backed away from his bed and knocked over his desk chair. He set it back up and he found himself staring at the ugliest face in the world. He screamed, "Oh!" He quickly covered his mouth. It was just General Jackson, safe in his glass cage. That shouldn't have scared him. "I'm not afraid of a lizard," he said. "Girls are afraid of lizards." He looked right into the eyes of General Jackson just to prove he wasn't afraid. "You don't scare me," he said. General Jackson stuck out his tongue. "How gross," said Marvin. He covered his mouth again. "Girls think lizards are gross." Well, I don't think you're gross," he told the general. "I don't. I really don't. In fact, I think you're cute." "Girls think lizards are cute." He ran into the bathroom and he looked at himself in the mirror. He tried to just look at his face. Not the hair, not the ninja pajamas, just his face. It looked just the way it always did, except something about it was different. He rubbed his eyes. It was sort of pretty. He studied his face again. He had a girl's nose. And he looked at it from every angle. He became more and more sure of it. "Oh my gosh!" He bit his finger. "Hi, Marvin," Lindsay said sleepily as she entered the bathroom. Marvin could see her in the mirror. "Lindsay, can I ask you something?" he said. "Okay," Lindsay said, and she yawned. "Okay, look at me, Marvin." Marvin said, "This is real important." He knelt down and put his hands on her shoulders. One good thing about little kids is they always told the truth. "Look at my face," he said. "Do I look like a girl?" Lindsay looked hard into his face. She touched his cheek and then his ears, and she said, "Yes." "What?" Marvin exclaimed. "You're crazy, Lindsay. That's stupid. You're just a stupid little kid." A frown slowly formed on Lindsay's face. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Marvin. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm sorry." But it was too late. She was crying. "I'm sorry," Marvin said again. He sighed. "Okay, why do you think I look like a girl?" "You look like a boy," Lindsay sobbed. "Then why'd you say I look like a girl?" "I don't know," Lindsay said. She was still crying. "You must have had a reason," said Marvin. "Just tell me. I won't get mad." "I have to go potty," said Lindsay. Marvin waited while his sister used the bathroom. At least, in that way, he knew he was still a boy. "I'm sorry he yelled at you. I yelled at you," he said when Lindsay was through. "It's just—" He stopped. If I tell you something, do you promise not to tell?" Lindsay promised. "I think I'm turning into a girl," said Marvin. Lindsay's mouth dropped open. "I've always wanted a sister," she exclaimed, instantly happy. "That's what I wish for my birthday cake. I blew out all the candles." Marvin laughed. "You'd be such a good sister, Marvin," said Lindsay. "We can play dress up and comb each other's hair, and we can teach each other how to put on lipstick." Marvin smiled at his sister. "And we can have a tea party." "Yes," said Lindsay, "and no boys allowed." Marvin laughed, and Lindsay laughed too. In the middle of the night, Marvin and Lindsay sat on the bathroom floor giggling at each other. Chapter 6. Off to School. "What happened to you?" Jacob asked when Marvin dragged himself downstairs in the morning. "I didn't sleep well," said Marvin. He had stayed awake all night trying to kiss his elbow. "More bad dreams?" asked his mother. "I guess," muttered Marvin. He poured himself a bowl of cereal. "Your voice sounds funny," said his mother. "Do you feel all right?" "I think I'm getting a cold," he said. He hoped that was what it was. Lindsay smiled at him. He stared down at his bowl of cereal. He had to hold his head up to keep from falling into it. 10 minutes later, Marvin was still staring at his bowl of soggy cereal. "Ponies or piggies?" asked his mother. She was combing Lindsay's hair. "Piggies," said Lindsay. Marvin watched his mother give Lindsay pigtails. Girls are lucky, he thought. They could wear their hair in a lot of fun ways. Pigtails, ponytails, bangs. He liked bangs. "No, I don't," he told himself. "I don't like bangs. I don't want bangs. I don't want to wear bangs like a girl." He didn't even know why he had thought such a thought. It was just that girls have longer hair, he decided. That was a fact. So they could wear their hair in a lot of different ways. That's all there was to it. It didn't mean he wanted bangs. Like the way girls dress. Boys just wore pants. But girls were lucky. They could wear anything, pants or skirts or dresses. And they could wear sparkles on their clothes. Boys didn't get to wear sparkles. No, I don't want to wear sparkles. I don't want to wear a skirt or a dress. I like wearing pants." "Marvin," Jacob called. "Stuart and Nick are here." "Oh my gosh," said Marvin, and he bit his finger. He walked to school with Nick and Stuart. He tried to act normal. Nick had a loose tooth. "Watch this," said Nick. He opened his mouth wide and pushed the tooth forward with his tongue so that it almost laid flat out. "Oh, gross," said Marvin. Nick and Stuart looked at him. I mean, cool," said Marvin. They got to school before class started. "Look, there's Patsy Gatsby," said Nick. Stuart laughed. Patsy Gatsby was sitting alone, playing jacks. She was the weirdest girl in Marvin's class, even weirder than Cassie. Sometimes all you had to do was say her name, Patsy Gatsby, and everybody laughed. But Cassie was weird funny, Marvin thought. Patsy Gatsby was sad weird. She was always quiet, like she was afraid of people. She didn't have any friends, and no one ever talked to her. Except Clarence. Clarence called her names. "Worm-faced, stupid head, ugly double, ugly stink girl." Marvin watched her bounce the red ball and then pick up the little jacks. He had never played jacks, and it kind of looked like a fun game. "Where's your football?" asked Stuart. "Huh?" said Marvin. "Duh," said Nick. Marvin suddenly remembered he was supposed to bring his football. "Now what are we going to do?" said Stuart. "Play jacks with Patsy Gatsby?" Nick laughed. Marvin looked at Patsy. Maybe she isn't the weirdest girl in class, he thought. Maybe I am. He tried to think of another game to play. He didn't want to let his friends down. Then he got an idea. He didn't know why he had never thought of it before. "Do you want to play hopscotch?" he said.